now 9:10. We've completed executive session with no action to report. So we're resuming our public session, and we start that with the Pledge of Allegiance. So we'll stand, and I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. So, the emergency exit locations, please make notice in case of an emergency so you can leave quickly and in an orderly fashion. It's a smoke-free school district. Smoking's not permitted in the building or anywhere on school grounds. And then thirdly, we're still under mask requirements because we're inside a school building. So we will now move into the board consent agenda. I need a motion to approve items C1 through C6. Yes, C1 through C6. I saw Ms. Felice and Mr. Trent second. Questions or discussion? Yes?
One quick question. On the treasurer's report, perhaps if we can get for the next meeting an explanation as to some of the surpluses that we are experiencing because of COVID last year and the activities that didn't take place, what the district has in mind for those surpluses. Thank you.
So, questions or discussion other than that? I just wanted to note we've got an Eagle Scout project in here to do a buddy bench at Brookhaven Elementary School, and also another bench at Brookhaven Elementary School donated by the Bellport High School class of 1997. 1998. It's a memorial bench for Mark Brown, who was a very well-loved employee at Brookhaven Elementary. So now, no further questions or discussion. All in favor of approving these items? It's unanimously approved. Communications and announcements. Do any trustees have advisory committee reports to make tonight? Okay. Then I don't think we have any public commentary, no letters to read. Items for discussion and action. You've seen all the attachments. The recommended action, the administration is recommending approval of a slight revision to the 2021-22 consolidated school calendar. So, is there a motion to approve that revision?
Is this for both items or just?
I'm just doing that one, and then we'll do the policies separate. So the school calendar change, is there a motion to approve that recommendation? Ms. Aruda, and second by Mr. Trent. Questions, discussion? All in favor? It's unanimously approved. And then we have a discussion of, it's a policy with regard to education of children and youth experiencing homelessness, and this is the first reading, and I believe that it's just presented to us for the first reading, and there's no action that we need to take. Yes?
Do we know if this policy has went through our committees?
Yes. If you look through here, the changes that were made, that would be through strategic planning. But this is the first reading, so it'll come up again at a subsequent meeting as a second reading, at which point it would be adopted. you know, assuming that the board does the adoption. The next is Section G, Board Consent Agenda on Curriculum. So is there a motion to approve items G1 and G2? Mr. Trent and Ms. Felice second. Questions or discussion on any item here? No? So all in favor, items G1 and G2, unanimously approved. Then we have, again, H is on the consent agenda on personnel. We have items H1 through H9, and then we're going to handle H10 separately because council has some language to add to that one.
You said H10, you want to take separate?
H1 through
H
H9.
1 point,
H1,
H 1.1.
sorry.
Oh, it's gonna be 1.10.
1.1 through H1.9. Thank you. And then H1.10 will be handled separately. So is there a motion to approve H1.1 through H1.9? Mr. Trent, Ms. Felice, second. All in favor? These are unanimously approved. Now go to H10, and this is where council is going to help with the recommendation. Administration recommended approval of H 1.10. So, but council has some language that you would like to
So I
add?
would recommend to the board that the resolution read, upon the recommendation of the superintendent of schools, the leave set forth at 1.10 is hereby approved, subject to a memorandum of agreement approved by council.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve item H1.10, subject to the approval of the memorandum of agreement that's been approved by council? Yes, Mr. Ruda and Mr. Trent second. Questions, discussion, all in favor? We've got 5 in favor. Is there
Opposed.
one vote no? And so 5 in favor, the motion carries. Then we have item I, the board consent agenda on
No, you
business.
still have to finish H2 through 9. We only did H1.
Gotta do H2.
Oh, sorry,
H2 through
Thank you.
H,
I
you
missed
probably do
that.
it all at once, right?
That's what happened when I did it,
We only did H1,
H1.
and then you
And
still have to do
Okay, so
H2.
H1
I'm
through
sorry.
H9.
I meant to be doing H2. All right, the administration recommends the approval of personnel items referenced in Schedule H2. And the, that would be H2.1 and H2 through, or through H2.3.
There's no objection from the board, can we just go right through
Yeah.
All
H9?
right, so why don't we do an omnibus approval of H2, H3, H4, H5, 6, 7, 8,
And 9.
and 9. Okay, so H2 through H9. Is there a motion to approve that? Okay, Mr. Ruda, second by
I'll second.
Mr. Pacini. No questions or discussion? All in favor?
I'm sorry, question?
Yes,
There was one item that you were going to have withdrawn from the personnel
it's
agenda?
out.
Well, is it out?
Yep,
I'm
it
trying
was
to find it.
revised.
Okay, thank you.
What item was that was revised?
Oh, it was, did you just refresh there and you'll see what's there?
Okay, I did sign out and back in a few
Oh, I'm
times. Is there a
sorry.
new? So I have a 6.1. You're pulling 6.1?
No, hold on. Do you have 6 point,
The pending portion?
which,
6.1 was removed.
on,
Okay, it's still on mine,
Still on
so,
mine too, that's
yeah,
why
if you refresh it, you'll
So-
see that that one's not on.
okay, you know what, I know what I did. Hold on, you gotta refresh board docs and
Right.
not the page that you're on. And then close
Just
it.
double
I got it,
checking.
yeah.
Is it, yours is gone?
Does that clear that up? for
I
everybody?
will when I get to it. Hold on 1 second, please.
Okay.
Mine is, I did refresh, but mine is still here.
Did you refresh the page with the
Yeah.
thing, or you refreshed board docs?
I refreshed board docs, I refreshed everything.
Well, I have a 6.1.
I think you have to do the whole thing, don't
I
you?
did, don't, yeah, but
Let me see.
the 6.1 to you?
No, that's good.
Okay.
Yours is good.
Okay.
It's still there on mine if we're talking
Let
about
me-
it.
It's a different name.
It's a different name,
One was removed.
so it just moved up, the
So
name moved.
Right.
6.2 became
Let me look at
6.1.
what
Okay,
you
thank you.
have, and I'll tell
It
you if
just-
that's the right one.
It just has a different name, so you're saying there's new 6.1?
Correct.
Got
Because the
Right.
name,
Okay,
That's
that whole thing
correct.
was pulled.
The
Okay.
original
Yep.
6.1 in
That's
question
correct.
was removed.
okay.
Okay, thank
And
you.
then it got renumbered, so the original 6.2 became 6.1.
Okay, understood, thank you.
Okay, I think we had the motion and it was
Thank you, I
seconded.
appreciate the clap.
Okay, all in favor? It's unanimously approved. All right. Now we're down to business, right? Because we did all the personnel items.
Correct.
Okay, I think we can do an omnibus motion for I-1.
Thirty-two is the last
To
number.
32. Yes. Omnibus motion to approve business items reflected in I-1 through I-32. A motion, Mr. Trent. A second, Ms. Felice. Questions or discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? This is unanimously approved. And now we're down to public commentary on non-agenda items. We have none. Any closing remarks? I'll go around the table. Ms. Felice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. First, I'd like to congratulate both you and Mr. Trent on your reelection to Board President and Vice President. I look forward to a very productive year like we had in the past. I'd like to congratulate the district on the seal of civic readiness that our district was designated with. I'm looking forward to seeing that get off the ground. There are wonderful things happening here in South Country, and that certainly is is something to be very proud of. And then, again, I just want to thank the board and the audit committee for opening up the audit committee to the rest of the board. I participated in that meeting this week. There were some very important items to discuss that, have to look at long-term planning, and something that I think is going to be very beneficial for our district. So I look forward to getting ready, getting active on our committees again, and getting more people involved so that we can make sure everyone in the district, parents, and everybody, residents, taxpayers, are included to see that we get the best that we can for our students and have a wonderful educational experience for the upcoming new year. Thank you.
Mr. Corker.
I would like to echo Ms. Felice. Very good.
Mr. Trent.
I also want to echo Ms. Felice, and I just wanted to say that I'm happy that there are people in the room with me, that I'm not in the room by myself. So it's good to see everybody in person.
Ms. Sarita?
Pretty much what Cheryl said, congratulations to the two of you, and I am looking forward to a wonderful 2021-22 school year. It's a little bit of a tongue twister saying, and I can't believe we're actually saying those words. I felt like it was like, some kind of movie when you thought about those years, and here we are.
Mr. Pacini?
Yeah, just a congratulations to everybody at Belfort High School that was involved in putting on what was an amazing graduation. High remarks from the grandmas, that's usually the barometer when you walk out. They know because they go to multiple school districts. I know my son's grandma was very pleased. But everything from what I hope continues as a tradition, the car parade, and was amazing. And having a senior this year, seeing how much it meant to him and the rest of his classmates. Sometimes we don't, may not realize how that was probably among the most memorable portions of graduation for many of them. Basically because strangers came out and cheered them on, which was really cool. And the enthusiasm of everybody along the parade route was great. I know it was a little bit difficult this year because of the time and it being on a Friday, but again, I hope we can continue next year, and thanks to all the local agencies and volunteer agencies and county police that helped put that on and block the roads. I know it's a large undertaking. And a real kudos to the security staff, because if you saw them trying to get everybody together at the middle school, I mean, it was kind of like a tailgate at a football party for a football game for a little while there. But it is dangerous. There's cars moving around, there's people milling about, and they really did an excellent job. And the weather held out, the fireworks were great. It was really just a wonderful, wonderful night, and a great send-off for Mr. Hogan, who I hope is playing golf this week. Thank you.
I want to add to what you just said about how the community really came out and
They did.
cheered on the graduates, because that is exactly what this public school system is all about. That's why we're here, is to raise the next generation and to launch them into adulthood, being prepared to function as adults and as productive members of the communities where they're going to live. And so to see the example that you just described of having the community come out to recognize that, I think is very good. I just realized something about tonight's meeting, though. I think usually we talk about committee appointments, and while it wasn't on the printed agenda, I would say, is everybody at the table wanting to continue on the same committees they've been on? I know that Ms. Ancona had said she wanted to be on hers. If we do that, we've got some continuity, and then if we need to make some changes or adjustments, each of us can think about it in the meantime, and we can deal with it later. Is that okay with everybody?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And school liaison.
Say again?
The school liaison, building liaison.
Okay, yeah, building liaisons also. We had, each of us had taken a building. I know mine is Brookhaven Elementary. I'm willing to continue with that. Everybody else continue with the building that you've been assigned, or do?
If anybody wants to leave the middle school, I'd like to take the middle school, but only if there's a vacancy. It's not imperative.
I think
I don't know who's
Mr.
where.
Parker has the middle school, so how do you wanna?
I'm not,
You wanna
I don't
keep-
wanna leave it.
Oh,
What do you
okay.
have now, Chris?
He'd like.
I don't even know.
You had the high
You know
school.
what,
I had the
thought
high
you
school, I think I
had
had the high
Rich.
school.
Oh, I thought,
I had the high school, and I think Frank belonged. I'd like to move to the middle school, but that's fine, if Clyde wants to
No,
stay
I had
there.
Frank belong, I
You
think,
can have two.
That's fine, Mr. Parker can stay at middle school.
you can join me.
Okay.
You do
That's
that
fine.
anyway.
All right, so we'll have just continuity, but if any adjustment needs to be made,
That's fine.
we can always discuss it and work it out, okay? So, yes,
Oh, no, I was just waiting. to-
He's making the
Oh, you're
motion.
making, okay, I think.
And I'm jumping to second to the motion.
And I voted.
You already voted.
Chris is already in his car.
All right, we need a motion to adjourn. Mr. Trent made the motion, Ms. Aruda seconded. All in favor, that one's unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.